The other day somebody asked me what a young girl needs to be happy. Me tell them take a look around. Happiness hard to be found. Me say me had so much ambitions as a child, but now it looks like femininity gone wild. Oh, she done rejection, not trust style. Too busy trying to fit the profile. Oh, na 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 na. You never tired of the lies. Them I tell you when them looking at your eyes. No real guidance or protection.
From the soulful essence of all that we be, of the Kwatamani divine socioeconomic family community, we of the Kwatamani First Genesis tribe, giving honor to the most supreme, seen and unseen, ancestral spirit presence of masculine and feminine energy, greet you in the most supreme spirit of love. On December 16th, 2018, we released a new album entitled Masterpeace, 9/18/27, and there was a premiere of our new musical video, Prelude to Masterpeace. While the senior priestess was contacting those who expressed an interest, she received a spiritual impulse to include a young sister whom we knew as Jasmine, and another young sister who identified herself now as Eliana the Christ, whom we had encountered at our temple ground during an organized meeting with the Nature Bar Carbonation group earlier in 2018. Our message simply stated, there's a land.
There is a land for the seekers of a green earth, solar conscious, high peace reality. It is called Mother Earth. High Priest Kwatamani.
And included the link to our video premiere, which has since been selected for nomination in an international film festival as Music Video of the Year in its category. We shared this call and response because the comments by Eliana the Christ was very revealing. During the meeting at our temple grounds, we observed a sincere nature of nurturing affection as she attended to a young boy who was with them. Here's the full communication dated December 16th as it was transmitted over Instagram.
Eliana the Christ, you rejected us. High Priest Kwatamani, no, we didn't reject you all. We just have a different mode of operation and screening in order to safeguard the women and the children. I'm sure you all are beginning to understand that there is a vicious, divisive nature of energy out there. This entire music album speaks clearly regarding those who seek to emerge within a green earth, solar conscious, higher peace reality. And if it's not about this, we are not about that. We invite you all to tune in and see what you see. Eliana the Christ, we got kicked out of Belize. You could have helped us at that time. Now we found our own way. You let fear rule you when love conquers all. Never stop loving, no matter what. High Priest Kwatamani, we are about ancestral wisdom, been at this holistic living way of life for a long time. Most sincerely, we seek to perpetuate divine social, economic, family, community order as it was in the beginning. Divine union, he and she. Divine consumption, fruit of the tree, and the forward multiplication of divinity in every offspring and vibration of the generation next. Divine order is a necessity for our survival as children of the sun. We appreciate your expressions, and we never knew you were no longer in Belize until some time later. Eliana the Christ, it's okay, we forgive you. We have our path, and you have yours.
After that Instagram communication, we made note to check on the happenings outside of our jungle sanctuary. We found out that a few individuals were spreading a very bitter, scornful, and vicious nature of energy, which can be felt and seen. These individuals were somehow attempting to associate the I and I with an occult vibration that included Nature Boy, Dr. Yark, Jim Jones, and others. The projection is that we of the Kwatamani First Genesis tribe are some kind of cult or sinister fringe group, and this projection is fueled by a vicious and malicious intent to distort, discredit, and demonize the I and the holistic living message that the I forward as a way of life. Under other circumstances, the I and I have observed that the vicious and malicious nature of such individuals does run its course, as that nature exposes itself in visible patterns of divisive and dysfunctional relationships that manifest a trail of frustration. Be clear here that the universal laws of divine order, the supreme justice of Ma'at, is absolute without an exception. Thus, even as the I and I speak about that malicious, vicious nature that was put out, that nature must return to the nesting ground from which it came. We note that those who have taken the lead in this cult-oriented, scandalous nature include an individual who could not overcome the burning rage and bitter scorn that surfaced within her own memories during phases of detoxing, purging, and healing. The individual was unable to break through long-held patterns of deep-seated resentment toward males in her life, and as more emotional reactions surfaced, this vicious nature of energy became aimed at the I and I as an Earth Solar conscious male. Such reactions are toxic energy attacks that fuel abusive, codependent, dysfunctional relationship patterns, regardless of he or she, shape, size, hair texture, tone, or the color of one's skin. Yeah, do not be deceived. There are those who said they believed that the Willie Lynch syndrome was a hoax. If you have ever dealt with anyone who carries past trauma from relationships, then you know that oftentimes the troubled individual will project old feelings of hurt and betrayal covered by layers of distrust, suspicion, and false accusations, causing the individual to get stuck in past emotional torment that haunts their present-day interactions. This is why detoxing, purging, and healing must address the mental, physical, and most definitely the spiritual dimensions of one's existence. You see, no two energies that are opposite in nature can occupy the same space at the same time. Thus, any carrier of such a bitter, scornful, hateful energy could not and cannot maintain a presence within divine social, economic, family, community order without wholeheartedly continuing to move forward in the active process of detoxing, purging, and healing. And it is not the I and I, as High Priest Kwatamani, who made that decision. It is simply a nature of energy exposing itself before it was able to cause a toxic implosion within our sanctuary environment. We are well aware that misery does love company and that birds of the same feather do flock together. We also know that individuals who eagerly participate in spreading rumors that feast on negativity are consumers of an energy source that works to spread a lower and lesser nature, keeping people distracted from the real source of disorder in their own lives, distracted from looking at their self, the real Master Khan. Woe upon those who spit venom against divine order. Yes, some people get an emotional rush from their own anger and bitter scorn, just like an alcoholic or drug addict indulges in their intoxication of choice. However, when that toxic nature starts to spread like a wildfire, igniting conflict, confusion, and chaos as a means to cover up and justify one's own disorderly attitudes, values, behaviors, and beliefs, the fire must be extinguished to safeguard the innocent and unaware and protect the integrity of wholeness. Within our sanctuary environment, we work to keep such toxic reactions contained in close quarters and neutralized for the sake of the women and the children who are adversely affected when exposed to angry, hostile, bitter attacks of energy. Think about your own childhood and the hurtful effects of verbal abuse and other abuses inflicted by those who spewed their toxic nature. At some point in time, one must become accountable for one's own state and condition and take progressive, life-affirming steps to do something about it. We're talking to a sacred few who have a wholehearted desire to detox, purge, and heal. Yes, we are addressing masculine and feminine relationship traumas, parenting issues, and those self-centered, deviant sexual acts that violate the mental, physical, and spiritual integrity of a being. However, many have lost their sensitivity to the holistic living necessity for detoxing and purging to heal as a requirement for whole life change. We note that natural and innate sensitivity has been lost because those who identify as self-centered individuals are actually deeply invested in the most dangerous cult of all, the cult of self. What the I and I'm saying is that the self expresses a nature of energy that has been identified throughout history by ancient and ancestral spiritual teachings from diverse world cultures. And that selfish nature has been described very clearly as an adversarial nature, an oppositional energy that stands opposed to the universal laws of divine order. That's right, the nature of self has been described throughout the ages of humanity as the nature of Set, Sutek, Satan, a divisive, possessive energy that torments the soulful essence of a being. Arrogant pride, willful opposition to divine order while claiming the right to do as one pleases for the satisfaction of self above all things else. This is why so many individuals claim the right to do their own thing, have their own way, when they want, how they want, whatever they want. However, it is not known by many that the nature of energy they are expressing and embodying is the satanic nature personified. Just look at your personal world and the world at large to see if you can see that satanic self-centered nature in action. We state simply that by its nature, the individualistic self stands opposed to divine social, economic, family, community order. Many do not even comprehend that the violations against the nurturing energies of Mother Earth, the pollution of the air, water, and soil, the contaminations of our living environment, and the desecration of the feminine nurturing essence within monotheistic religious attitudes, values, behaviors, and beliefs are all fueled by the same self-set, Sutek, satanic nature of energy that stands opposed to divine order. As a high priest of the first Genesis nature, anointed within the seen and unseen indigenous spirit of priesthood, that I and I hold a devotion to a nature of energy that holds no honor for the divisive, vicious, and malicious nature of self. And if you take a few moments to listen to our new album release, Masterpeace, 9/18/27, you may begin to comprehend what is happening during this global shift into Earth solar consciousness. A shift that has been foretold in many belief systems, spiritual traditions, and religious texts. For the sake of holistic living comprehension, the I and I state clearly that the term I of the Earth Solar Messiah is a spiritual encode for those who can feel, sense, hear, and see the return of Earth Solar unification as an absolute necessity for the survival of humanity. If you are not clear, what is being said here is that the unification, the divine union of masculine and feminine energy, he and she, is an absolute necessity, and as such supersedes the Set, Sutek, satanic, self-centered nature of energy that fuels deviant and divisive individualism. Yes, there are two different natures of energy, and one has to determine which nature of energy he or she chooses to align with: divine order or toxic reality, supreme truth or self-deified fallacy. And I forward this message as a holistic living way of life that can only be forwarded by example and not by running one's mouth. Yes, action do speak louder than words, especially when one's actions and words become a unified expression of divine order. We learned some valuable lessons in preparation for this third cycle of 9. Third cycle of 9 years, that is. And as we approach the 20th anniversary of the 1999 gathering time, we carefully and precisely encoded a message for a sacred few within the musical expressions of Masterpeace 9/18/27. We invite you to tune into a nature of energy that forwards the divine union of he and she within the living reality of a green earth solar conscious way of life that honors higher peace. Masterpeace 9/18/27, created to uplift and inspire the heart and soul of a sacred few. And for the sacred few, we say, no, we do not and cannot reject you. However, we must all begin to understand that until or unless the individual has totally and absolutely submitted to the process of detoxing, purging to heal, one cannot determine whether one is truly of the sacred few nature or whether one is an implant of that deified self, seeking and searching to destroy anything that it cannot dominate, control, or rule. Thank you.
King man, here we know. Ooh, your masculinity just blow my mind. You stand strong with your power and glory, baby. Ever since I may burn, we struggle with the energies of hateful scorn. Yeah. You rescued I from this wretched decay, and we vow to love you in every way. Vow to love you in every way. We give thanks and praise, 'cause you say we so pleasing you that we primary go. Rescued we from the hellish fire, and you fill up in life with all life desire. The Babylon system, no God, nothing good. No family, community, no sisterhood.
People travel all over the world,
Seeking fame and fortune, diamonds and pearls. Yes, them said the grass green upon the other side,
and still they cannot find this whole, this deep living vibe.